All right, it's September 15th, I do believe, 2021. And I just finished, just in the last week, repairing this fence. It had a really bad lean. It was leaning north to the other side. And how we fixed it is we took the fence panels off and I cut treated 4x4 post up into wedges with a chainsaw. You can do it with a skill saw too, it doesn't matter. But see, that's just a wedge pounded to the ground. We pounded the post straight. Well, we had to replace a few of them that were rotten. Here's one that's pounded right down level. That's kind of how you want it to look finished. And you can see we've done it all the way along. That one has it on both sides. The nice thing about them is if the fence ever does move and lean to the inside or the outside, you just come along with a sledgehammer or the back of an axe or whatever and put the level on it and hit the block, hit that wedge a few times, and it will straighten it out. So we got this. You can see, you look right down the fence, we got it almost laser straight. Like, it's pretty darn good considering, you know, it was leaning 14, 16 inches. And the neighbor agreed to allow me to build the fence higher. And I was going to go 6.5, 7 feet. And they said, "Oh no, you want an 8-foot fence?" I said, "Really? You would allow me to do that?" And they said, "Oh yeah." And so I did just that. I bought a bunch of 8-foot 1x6 and I pre-painted them before I screwed them on. And that's the finished result. Why would I build it that high, you ask? Well, the next door place is rental. And for the most part, there's some really nice people there. But all I can tell you is, you know, it's, from my perspective, I've been here for 30 years, and it is so nice to have some privacy in my backyard. And hopefully it'll be nicer for them too, you know, they don't have to look at my junk collection. I mean, I've got a hot rod under that mess. You can't really tell, but there's a 1970, I think it's a 78, it might be a 79 T-Bird. It's like a Road Warrior custom car. Anyway, and I've got a trailer, utility trailer, and the halfway built there under that stuff. I'm using it as a drying rack for my fence boards these days. Anyway, I'm a busy guy with lots of hobbies and interests, and I'll tell you, with this kind of privacy, I know I'm really looking forward to doing more things in my own backyard without being under anyone's scrutiny. And so hopefully my activities will bother them less and their activities will bother me less. And this other fence over here, I built this last year and I really took my time doing it because I wanted the post buried as deep as possible, and I employed the same system with the wedges here and there where needed. There's some really big rocks in the gravel down there, but anyways, myself and the neighbor are quite happy with this, I do believe. It's good for them, good for me. Another interesting thing about how I did this is you can see here, like, there's no metal hangers, but what there is a 5-inch galvanized spiral spike that this is drilled on an angle and also kind of on an angle this way, so that when you drive the spike in, it really anchors it into solid wood in that post. And I don't know if it's the cheapest way to do it, but I actually experimented with it 20 some years ago, and when I rebuilt the fence in the back, those spikes I used were holding really strong, even after all those years. And I didn't even treat that fence. You can see I've just started painting it barn red recently, and I'm not done yet. Yeah, it's a darn good system. And what we do is we dig a hole. We use 8-foot runners, and then you attach the runner to the post before you set it in the ground. Well, basically make sure it's the right length so you don't have to trim your runners, or they won't be too short if you don't bury it in the right spot. And what I do is when I'm digging the hole, I lay a 8-foot 2x4 down so that will give me the perfect distance to the next post. And then you always stand back and look down. This one, unfortunately, I didn't have the option to make it as straight as an arrow, because there's concrete down there, and this is an old neighborhood, and it hasn't been landscaped for many years. So you just do the best you can with what you have. And I pointed out to the neighbor, and I mean, aside from tearing everything out and leveling the lots and then building a fence, and getting rid of all the old concrete and then replacing it, there's not much you could do, right? So anyway, everyone's happy. And this is a playhouse I built for my kids way back when, and now my grandkids use it. Anyway, that's enough for today.